wife, she had just posted like an hour ago or so the video from me going down to Stockton, California to meet with the guy that's leasing onto the company. And I stopped and I saw some of the comments real quick about, you know, like people not really understanding, you know, hey, you're saying that you you know, have a 17-year-old DOT number or whatever, but you've been in business for, you know, almost a year, so how, you know, that doesn't really like line up. So the backstory is I got into freight brokering, you know, and started as a dispatcher at a company, then moved up to Eugene, Oregon, with my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, worked at a freight brokerage up there as a freight broker. And you know, we were there for a couple of years, and then, you know, I was telling my dad about, you know, hey, things are really going, you know, well here and stuff. You know, he kind of saw how much money was in it and everything, and my dad's always been the kind of guy that, you know, really liked to get involved in stuff like that if he had opportunities. So, you know, at the time, my wife and I were just getting married, and she was pregnant for the first time. So we wanted to move back home down to, you know, Southern Oregon. So my dad was like, hey, let's do this. So that's what we did. So we moved back down, and that was in 2006, where we opened Blue Sky Transportation Services, the brokerage, under the same MC number and DOT number that I have right now. So that's why they're that old. We ran a brokerage under these numbers, just brokering freight. That was it. We never had a for-hire carrier authority activated. It was just the broker authority activated under it. That's it. When we shut the company down, the DOT number just goes dormant, and the MC number just goes dormant because there's no active authority, right? So then when I started thinking about doing this Hotshot thing, which I didn't think about it, it was my wife's idea. At the time, I was like, you're crazy. And then we decided to do it. So it was actually her idea. No, my father, he was like my best friend. He was a great man. He passed away, you know, years ago now. So unfortunately, he was only 58. So the only way that I would do this is if I could bring my dad basically along with me on this journey. Just like we had done before with the brokerage. So, you know, made some phone calls to DOT, FMCSA, stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, I want to keep the DOT number. And they're like, it's your DOT number. It can't ever go to anybody else. It stays with one company. That's it. If they don't use it anymore, it just sits. It never does anything. And same with an MC number. You can sell an MC number if you want to. From what I understand, that's what they told me. But unless you do, it just sits there. So all that happened was my DOT number and MC number just sat there for years. And then basically when I paid the $300, you know, I already had the DOT number, which they are free. That was one of the questions in the comments. You know, yes, the DOT number is free. But you're going to pay $300 not for an MC number, for an authority. Okay? Two different things. So 99% of the time, most of these people that are applying for and paying the $300, they don't have an MC number already. So they're paying $300 for an authority. They'd get an MC number with it because they never had one. For me, I paid $300 to activate my for-hire carrier side of my MC number. That still costs $300. I keep my MC number. I just reactivate my DOT number, and my authority for my for-hire side of my MC number goes active as soon as I get insurance. So another comment that was made was like, hey, people, you know, they'll age, basically aging their authority. That's not done for insurance purposes. Aging an authority is done if somebody wants to, say, activate their authority and then wait months down the road, and basically then they're going to have an easier time getting freight because nobody wants to give freight to a brand new authority. So that's the aging the authority thing, which I've never really understood, because the only way you can activate an authority is if you get commercial insurance and pay for it. So I don't know anybody that wants to pay for commercial insurance every month and not use that MC number. Unless you've got a ton of money laying around and that's just something that you're going to do, then go for it by all means. But I'm not that guy. So if I'm going to pay the insurance to activate the authority, I'm going to go driving. So the reason why I can get cheaper insurance is because the insurance companies go based off of how old your DOT number is, and they also go based off how old your MC number is. Not your authority necessarily, but also your MC number itself, okay? They also go based on where you live, where your company is based out of, where you're going to be hauling freight, the type of freight, like the list goes on, you know, how much your truck and trailer is worth, values, stuff like that, you know, how much liability you want, how much cargo, you know, insurance you want, all of that stuff. But for me, since my DOT number, even though it just sat there for whatever, 17 years, and the MC number, when I give them, and you have to, when you start to look for insurance and you find a place that's going to give you insurance, you give them your driver's license number, like all these different things and stuff. You also have to give them your DOT number, and they plug that into the system, and that's part of what gives them the number that you're going to have to pay. Okay, so that's why my amount is less, is because my DOT number and my MC number are 17 years old basically. My authority is less than a year old for my for hire carrier side, but that's the authority to run for hire. That's not my MC number. You know what I mean? They're together, but they're not the same. Your MC number can have a for hire carrier side, a brokerage side. You know, there's, I think, like 3 different sides to it. You can be a private, you know, not for hire. There's differences to it. The reason why when we shut down the company, I went away from brokering freight is because I hate brokering freight, to be honest. It was really great to do years ago, but the same reason why I didn't want to broker freight anymore is the same reason why I hate talking to new brokers most of the time when I talk to them on the phone, or you know, it's almost like a non-human interaction. It's like, hey, I've got this load, what will you do it for? And it's like, dude, you called me, what's the rate you have? No, what will you do it for? And it's like, tell me what you're gonna pay, because I'm not gonna tell you $800 when you're gonna pay $1,200 and you keep the other $400 because I said $800. You know what I mean? Like, it's a game. It's all a game, dude. Like, and that's what bothers me the most. And it's fine, it's business, I get it, but there's too many snakes as far as brokers go, you know, that want to get freight. They don't care about their customers. If they can cover the freight, great. If they can't, whatever. If they can, oh yay, I made $100 or whatever, because they're lowballing it to get it anyways. And that's what's wrong. That's what's happened here. You know, years ago in Entrepreneur magazine, they came out with an article that was the front page on it about brokering freight and how it was the #1 thing to do to be an entrepreneur. And when that came out, the shit hit the fan in this industry. And that was about 20 years ago, roughly, 18 years ago, somewhere in there. It went off. Everybody wanted to be a broker, and everybody became a broker. If you're going to do that and tell everybody that something's great, you're going to attract the people that aren't so great also. That's where your double brokers and your fraud and all your people that are coming in that have been here for a long time. This isn't something new, the whole double brokering and stuff thing, and fraud thing. It's nothing new. That's why they raised the surety bond years ago. It used to be $5,000. $5,000 surety bond you could get in. That's how much it was when we did it. $5,000. It's $75,000 now, I think, unless it went up. So anyways, honestly, if you have any other questions about this, just